Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Howdy, everybody. Howdy, howdy. Good to have everybody tonight. This is our 8 p.m. support class. We have been hosting two-a-days, Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday, two-a-days, making sure that we're here for you in the morning, that we're here for you in the evening. We understand that weight loss, lifestyle change can be very frustrating, especially with this thing getting in the way. It's, when you've got years of eating and thinking a certain way, you're inundated with information on a daily basis. This works, that works, this doesn't, that doesn't. It can get very frustrating. It's hard to go all in on a program, but we hope that you will go all in on Shibboleth and learn it the right way. Kenny Dodd has come tonight. Hey, Kenny, how are you, bro? I hate to jump out of that, but I was hoping that Kenny would be here. Oh, Siri, stop. Kenny Dodd is here. Good to have Kenny. Everybody welcome Kenny and all of our members, new members especially. We want to welcome you. Glad you're here. Hated to digress, but I was looking forward. I had Kenny on my heart all day today. Kenny, you gonna do this thing with me, bro? Kenny's got a great story, and Kenny's gonna show everybody how to do it. Here to be a loser. I love it. I love it. We're going to be the right kind of loser. We're going to lose that body fat. We're going to live healthy. This is an opportunity, Brother Kenny, for God to use you and give you a platform so that you can inspire people. I was hoping Brother Charles Grant would be here tonight. Charles is down 200 pounds. You two would make fantastic friends. Y'all would be really good to support one another. Brother Charles is up against it too, but he's down about 200 pounds. He's usually in class. I don't know where he is right now, but he's here almost every day, keeping his mind right. And brother, if he can do it and I can do it, you can do it too. You just need that support, that love and support. And this is to everybody. When we start anything new, it's got the new car smell on it, doesn't it? And that's outstanding. We want newness. And that new car smell will wear off. So we need to be prepared for the days ahead too, and realize that we're adopting a lifestyle, a practical, sustainable, fun lifestyle where we can lose all the weight we want to lose and keep it off. We guarantee that you will lose 10% of your body weight in your first month if you do what we tell you to do, okay? You got to do your best. Now, if what we told you to do was very difficult, then that would be a tall order, but it's not. We eat hamburgers and hot dogs and pizza and candy bars and all kind of stuff that you've always eaten, hot dog. It's just easy. We're just pivoting. All we're doing is pivot. And that pivot will include new products at your grocery store, possibly, some of the same. But we're going to combine foods differently so that we control what, everyone? We control that old fat bus. Who can tell me what the four things, the fat bus causes four things to happen that prevent us from losing body fat efficiently? Does anybody know what the four are? Be sure to ask your question in the Q&A section. That way I can get to it in order, because this thing will get to scrolling and I'll miss it. Ashley, you can have peanut butter and celery. A tablespoon of peanut butter with celery is a snack. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter with celery is a meal episode. All right, there's Brother Charles. Charles, I hate everybody. Don't get mad at us, y'all. We've got a rock star here in our midst. And then I'm going to answer my own question. I'm all over the place, but we'll get in a flow in a minute. People's getting here a little late. Brother Charles, I want you to make sure you connect with Brother Kenny Dodd. I'll let him tell you what his challenge is and what he's up against. Brother Charles, you were telling me today that you were struggling and you needed You needed a kick in the rear end. You couldn't get as motivated as you had been. And we talked about self-sabotaging. You can be a real inspiration to Brother Kenny Dodd. You two should connect, and the Holy Spirit flow breast to breast, because you'll be an inspiration to him down almost 200 pounds. And Kenny's just getting started with his journey, and he's up against it like you were when you started your journey. And you're a good man, and he's a good man. And I'd like to see y'all support one another and use this as a platform to inspire lives all over the nation. Okay, so back at it. Insulin, yeah, he's here. Kenny's already messaged you. Kenny, when you message host and panelists, make sure you switch it to everyone, and then Charles can see it. All right, I'm sorry, I digress. So here, I asked about the fat bus. Store fat. Store fat. And Gina, I'd love for Kenny to tell his story, but now that's on him. Until he tells it, I can't tell it, because that's a personal thing. But he's got a good one, and I'm sure when he's ready, you'll be inspired. He's going to do really good. He's going to change his life, and then change other lives. So when the fat bus comes, we get fat storage. Fat storage. Nothing we can do about it. It's fat storage. So we eat fat, fat bus present, fat storage. Pretty simple, huh? Nothing radical about that. Nothing radical about it. It's just good old common sense. Fat bus equal fat storage. You eat ground beef that's got a lot of fat in it with white bread. Whiter the bread, the quicker you dead. Fat storage. Nothing you can do. You're into doing a vegan thing, and you eat a processed vegan food full of tapioca starch and plant fats, fat storage. Y'all follow me? You eat your hot dog weenie and the wrong kind of weenie on the wrong kind of bun, fat storage. Yeah, they're not telling us this, are they? They're not telling us. We need to learn this. It's real easy to do. Everything you need comes from your local grocery store. Fat bus also drives appetite through the roof. Y'all make sure so that I can keep up with your questions. I don't want to miss it, y'all. One more time. If you'll please click the Q&A button. Now you can do it in the thread, but I won't be able to keep up. Maybe somebody else will try to answer it, but the Q&A button will make sure that I get to it. Okay, thank y'all. So appetite goes through the roof. Insulin is an appetite accelerant. It is also a growth hormone. What does that mean if it's a growth hormone? Good to have Gina tonight. It means that if we're growing, we can't deplete. We can't lose weight. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? If you've got growth hormone going through your system, does it make a lot of sense to be trying to lose weight when you got growth hormone going through your system? No. And there's a fourth one. This is a bonus one. Somebody may have already said it. Let's see who knows I bet April does. I bet April knows. What's the fourth one that happens when the fat bus comes on the scene? Fat bus is as fat bus does. Hint, hint, it's a bus and it's got wheels and it runs over something. It destroys something because it runs right over it. Does anybody know? We named three. It does store fat. It does send your appetite up and it stops your efficient fat burning, but it also does something else. It destroys your... Oh, yes, April. Yes, Nisi. Yes. That's a good one. Do you know how, listen, the next time that you're at the doctor's office, I'm not a doctor, but the next time you're at the doctor's office, tell them about the fat bus, and ask them, what does it destroy in the cell, the little powerhouse filaments in the cell? And I bet you 9 out of 10 can't tell you. They'll be so impressed with you, it destroys your mitochondria. So mitochondria, a healthy mitochondria, is also linked to longevity and lifespan. And insulin, nothing wreaks havoc on cellular integrity like insulin. Now, how do we control insulin, everyone? There's two things we need to consume with insulin-producing foods. What are those two macronutrients? One of them's a macro, one of them's a part of a macro. Fiber, and protein. Fiber and protein. Those of you that my emails didn't get blocked, did anybody watch the journey lesson, the first journey lesson, and it said there are two types of nutrients? What are those two types of nutrients? Very good. Macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are the nutrients that the body needs a lot of. Micronutrients are what the body needs a little bit of to thrive and to survive. Tomorrow you'll get another journey lesson. It'll be short and to the point, and they'll build on each other. So in Fast Track, what are we focused on in Fast Track? Macronutrients or micronutrients? Macro. And again, we want to make it simple. We want to put it in layman's terms so that we understand. We've got protein, carbohydrate, fat, and a lot of people these days in the dietetics world, they don't include water as a macro. But to me, water is the most important nutrient. Therefore, it's a macro because we need a lot of it. Do y'all see why I include water? Do you understand why I do my own thing with nutrition? We need water more than any other macro. We cannot survive without water. When we're going through Fast Track, we have our daily disciplines. How much water do we need? Minimal amount of water to survive and thrive. Very good. A half a gallon of water. Watch this. How much does a half a gallon of water weigh? Amen, Tina. I like that. There you go. A little more than 4 pounds. About 4 pounds. So we need a minimum amount. Now, somebody like Kenny and Charles, they probably need to get closer to a gallon. Okay? They're like me. I'm 6'3". I'm a big man. And I once weighed over 300 pounds. I needed that gallon of water. But minimally, because our food also contains water, especially carbohydrate and fruit. We've got to get in that half a gallon of water. What is the primary purpose of water? Hydration. What's the primary purpose? This is a trick question. Charles says it flushes fat. True. Flush out toxins. True. Poop. True. Water in, fat out. Cleansing. True. All that true. The most important part is without proper hydration, let me ask you this. When lightning strikes, lightning is a form of energy, isn't it? When it strikes, is water a conductor or not a conductor? It's a conductor. Some of y'all have an aha moment, right? Water does a lot of things. And by the way, water does something else too. Have you ever heard this? This has a lot to do with weight loss too. Be washed by the water of the Word. Has anybody ever heard that? In the beginning was the Word. The Word was God. In the beginning was the Word was with God, was God. I forget. It's right there in the book of John, Gospel of John. So we've got to be washed by the water of the Word. But then we need the natural water for all those reasons you mentioned. But when you're trying to lose weight, more especially because water is a conductor of all the chemical processes that need to take place in order for you to efficiently burn the boutte. Water is the number one daily discipline. It is the most important one. It is an easy one. We just have to get in the habit. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. Water. What is water? It's wet. Wet water. What kind of water? Wet water. That's all we need. Now, people will always ask, new folks will always ask, can I have Crystal Light as my water? You can. Hey, Kim Danke, we're about to get into your fast track lessons tonight. You can, but I don't want you to do that. For proper health, we want that pure water. If you wouldn't wash your skin in the shower with it, you shouldn't be washing your internal organs with it. Gina, I don't, just for monetary reasons. If people have the money to spend on a water filter, I'm all for it. Just, of course, you're really savvy about this stuff, but due diligence and pick one that's got good ratings and does what it claims to do. The difference is a water filter, tap water, alkaline water, the more hard the water is. When I say tap water is hard water, I mean you need more of it than you would need of filtered water, or you need more of it than you would need of alkaline water, because tap water is acidic. Therefore, you need more of it to stay properly hydrated. Does that make sense, everyone? Now, when you're new, I want you to get the visual of getting in the shower and washing your skin with Crystal Light. Would you do that? Some of you might wash it with some Mexican cheese dip. You wouldn't do that. So why would we wash our liver, our internal organs, with anything other than clear water? And like Gina said, if can, filtered water or alkaline water, proper pH water. We want to visualize how that water, that clean water, is cleansing our internal organs. We definitely need it to cleanse our liver. What is our liver primarily responsible for? Can you tell me a couple of things? Another reason we need that hydration. We need to shower that liver. I just learned from Jonathan Montgomery. I didn't know this about my own wife. I had to ask her. I need to pay more attention. That she only washes her hair a couple of times a week. I did not know this. Is that what you women do? Y'all, is Jonathan's wife and my wife, are they spot on? I was just bumfuzzled. So back to the water and washing our organs. Some of us are treating our internal organs like a woman treats her hair. The liver needs a constant flow of clean water. And it does, y'all are right. It filters out toxicity. But did you know if you're burning fat, you have your liver to thank for it? If you're burning the weight of glycogen, you have your liver to thank for it. So we got to keep all those internal organs clean. And that's the number one component of the bulletproof shield. That's what we learned first on how to have a perfect day. In Fast Track, Kim also teaches us that we need to have a journal. Kenny, please do this. So many people don't develop the habit early on of having a journal, an accountability partner. If I bite it, I write it. If I hog it, I log it. If I nibble it, I scribble it. Please journal. And don't just journal on your perfect days. It's even more important to journal on your holidays. Would y'all do that for me? I want you to do it. Even if you don't feel like doing it, even if you don't feel like you have time, I want you to do it. It's super important. Statistically speaking, there's been studies after studies about this. Those that have been overweight and do not have an accountability partner called a journal that they use on their what we call perfect days and holidays, even if they lose their weight, they typically gain 50% or more of that weight back. Make it a lifelong habit. Figure out how to enjoy it. It only takes a few minutes a day. You have more than 10,000 minutes in a week, and this is life-changing stuff, and it's simple. It's always the simple things that get overlooked. It's the little foxes that spoil the vines. Those daily disciplines are life-changing. Next, you'll learn this in Fast Track. Food combinations. Now, if you're new here, this might be a challenge for you mentally in the beginning until you touch and agree with the rest of us Shibbolethians and see that it really is easy. There are food combinations, there are good ones, there are better ones, and there are the best ones for fat burning. Why do we have a food combination discipline? Is it to make your life miserable and to make this difficult to do? What is the purpose of eating in the right food combinations, whether you're a vegan, a carnivore, or a balanced eater like me? Very good. We control the fat bus, we control insulin by putting the right macros together. Now, in short, here's why I put those combinations together. Again, I will say, I stress, there are good ones, there are better ones, and there are best ones. But listen, where's my April's bell? Teaching point, so that you have an aha moment. Out of those macros, protein, carbohydrate, and fat, I'm trying to avoid LCT fats, which I'll explain. I'm trying to avoid partnering them up with sugar, starch, and simple carbs. Okay, every combination, if you pay attention, some are better for fat loss than others. I am literally avoiding this combination in all scenarios. No long-chain triglyceride fats coupled with sugar, starch, or simple carbs. Now, we've already given you the answer. But again, let's go back. Repetition's the mother of skill. The combination chart that I'm going to pull up shortly is put together so that we avoid, on our portion control plate or underneath our two-hand rule, we are avoiding any long-chain triglyceride with simple carbs, starch, and sugar. Why would we want to avoid that combination? Can somebody, who will be the winner of the day, and give me the best explanation? Because the more you know why, the better decisions you'll make, and the more attached you'll be to your food combinations that are life-changing. Long-chain triglycerides, visualize a fat that looks like a long candle wick. Okay, let me do it. Maybe this will help. I'm terrible at drawing. I don't know if this helps y'all or not. When I know that drawing didn't help. But an LCT fat, let me put it in. Let's take some baby back ribs. Let's do some ribs and French fries. Can we do that? Can we do ribs and French fries, and let me explain why that's a problem? Can I ever, on this Shibboleth program, can I ever have baby back ribs and French fried potatoes? Yeah. Holiday. If I'm in maintenance, how many days can I eat all the baby back ribs and French fried taters I want? If in a year, do it in a year. 144, that's plenty. That's plenty. So if I have baby back ribs, a big old plate, let's say they're hanging off a plate like that too. I've got a lot of protein. That's good, but I've also got a lot of long candle wicks. Look at these long candle wicks. And they are already in the form of fat. And therefore, they're easily stored as fat even without insulin. Even without insulin, they're easily stored as fat. But here's the good thing about fat. In the absence of carbohydrate, fat is used as an energy source first before the other nutrients that you consume. So that fat begins to dissipate and be used as energy. Somebody say, glory. And it don't get stored on our rear end. And if we don't overeat the fat, we won't store the fat. But I had French fried taters, which gives me some more fat because they were fried in a plant oil. But the potatoes are a starch. And that starch dispatches the fat bus. And here comes the fat bus. And it picks up all these long chain triglycerides, and it makes a beeline for my booty. Boom. And my booty just keeps getting bigger and bigger because I have no idea what I'm doing to myself. But now I'm an adult. I understand. I understand that I can't have ribs with French fried potatoes, but could I have a reasonable, on a perfect day, could I have a portion controlled amount of baby back ribs with green beans and loose body fat? Woo-wee. Now, what if I have, would this be approved? You experienced members, would this be approved? If I have baby back ribs hanging off the plate like this, like a whole slab on a perfect day, and I have green beans, am I probably going to store some fat? Yeah, you will. Not as much as if you had them with French fried taters, but see, that's a problem. So we're eating in the right combinations, and we're getting rid of this combination of the wrong kind of carb with the wrong kind of fat. If I want LCT fats, long chain triglyceride fats, I avoid carbohydrate and fruit. If I want carbohydrate and fruit, trick question, what kind of fat do I need to have on that plate? I bet April knows. I knew she would. I love April, boy. She is on it. MCTs, medium chain triglycerides, or no fat. You don't have to have fat on a plate. When you're trying to lose fat and you're having perfect days, you can have carbohydrate, corn and taters. They tell you you can't have carbs and lose weight. They don't know what you're talking about. You can lose weight with your carbohydrate, your taters, your corn, your peas, your limas, your whole grains, your fruit. You can have these and lose weight, but you can't have the wrong kind of fat on that plate. What's the difference, Travis? Let me show you what the difference is. When I have a medium chain triglyceride, for visual, it's like little short candle wicks. So let's take a look at what that would look like. I've got chicken breast, white meat chicken breast, and I've cut it up with my shears into like fajita bites. And I put it in my wok with 100% MCT oil. I cook the MCT into the chicken breast. The chicken breast doesn't have very much fat, hardly any, but now I've cooked the fat into it, medium chain triglycerides. And then I have my broccoli, my fiber, or any category 2. And let's say that I have my potato, all on a portion control plate. So I've got my category 2, I've got my category 3, I've got my chicken breast that is a 1. You'll find, those of you that are new, you'll understand this, I promise. Not right now you won't, but you will. So this is a lean protein that had MCTs cooked into it. I add my category 2 to slow. The 2 slows the fat bus down. The fat bus, let's see how I can do this here. There's the fat bus. Honk, honk. The fat bus is making a beeline towards those MCT fats that are quickly dissipating this heat and going away. They burn fast, so fast that they're gone. We got the broccoli, the speed bumps to the fat bus, and by the time the fat bus gets there, the lipids are gone. It's the holy grail of weight loss and wellness. Food combinations. Let's take a look at that while we're on the topic. Let me go to your program here. I'm going to go to resources and I'm going to pull up the advanced combination chart. As you're going through Fast Track, that's unlike this class, for it is laid out perfectly. It's laid out perfectly. Perfectly. Structured so that who has not yet earned their Fast Track badge in this class? You're our special guest tonight. Who has not earned the Fast Track badge? Is there anyone? Now, it's okay if you have not. It doesn't take long to earn it. Joanna's almost done with the 7 laps. We just have one person here that hasn't earned it. Well, shoot. I need to quit saying y'all don't understand then. Y'all do. Pamela has it. It's laid out the way it should be laid out. Now, let's be honest. I'm going to get to that, Kenny. Bear with me. I'll help you out with that. I'm kind of doing everything in reverse tonight for a reason, trying a different approach, just to shake it up a little, because this is about Fast Track and then Q&A. You're getting started with Fast Track. Now, the average age here in this class tonight is 48 years old, unless we had people come in after registration. 48 years old. Now, be honest. The truth will set us free. How many of you believe in the program, you believe in me, I get it, but there's a part of you, it's like, I'm too old to go back to school. I am too busy and I don't have time. Just tell me what to do. Anybody ever feel that way? That goes on in your head. I just don't have time for this. It's okay. It's okay. We've all been there. I don't want to do this. I've been to school. I don't want to go back. And all this math, 1 + 2, 1 + 2 + 3, 1 + 6 + 2, 1 + 4. What are we doing? I get it. I know it's a problem. But how many of us have been dealing with some form of food addiction and the unintended consequences of it for more than a couple of years? Out of you, how many of you have tried more than one diet in the last 20 years? Then why in the ham sandwich would we not finally let the scales fall from our eyes and realize we've been duped, and it's time in that respect to humble ourselves as little children out of the womb, out of the matrix, and as it relates to our eating lifestyle, we start over like this is new, brand new. We're beginning life fresh and new, and we know nothing. Have you ever done a diet that teaches you as much about the breakdown of foods in your body as this program? And if you go the academia route and they teach you, they're going to teach you the food pyramid. How has that worked out? The food pyramid is designed to provide profits for commercial agriculture. Can I get any amens tonight? I need some amens. We're in this together, folks. We're going to start like babes. Like babes. Has anybody seen, is there anybody beside me who's a nerd and a geek? I love the Matrix movie. Does anybody like the Matrix? We're actually seeing it play out. I love it. Remember when they got in the #1 and they unplugged Neo from the Matrix? He is all shaved and bald like a baby. Do you remember what they did to him? They plugged him up and they downloaded Kung Fu. Now, I know that if I could download Shibboleth on each of you tonight, you would let me do it. And it would be, you wouldn't even have to work for it. Can't do it. Elon Musk's Neuralink hasn't happened yet. It's gonna. Wow, Laura, that's cool. Very cool. So what we've got to do, the closest thing that we can do to downloading it on you and overcoming all the past, everything that you thought you knew, is to get you to go through Fast Track, then the Journey, then if you want, Tiger's Eye. Those new curriculums, new drops every week, guaranteed. If we go through Fast Track the right way, humbling ourselves, what does the Bible say we inherit if we humble ourselves as a little child? The kingdom of what? The kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven. Could I say this? In this dimension that we're living in upon this earth, Could I say if I humble myself as a little child, I would inherit, let's replace it with the word peace, joy, abundant living, without an abundant waistline? I'm trying to sell you tonight on believing in me until you believe in yourself. Believe in God first, but give me your best effort and go through fast track, and then try your best to apply it with my help. Again, I'm going to get worse about tooting the horn because I want you to know I'm there for you. Do you have any other coach in your life who will be here for you every Monday through Friday, 2 times a day, to keep you motivated and to keep reminding you of the basics and keep giving you new stuff? And there's not out there. We here together are inexcusable. And this works for everyone. Everyone. I've got, I consider her a friend, very astute person, Gina Quinn. And Gina really believes in a holistic plant-based diet. And I believe in it. Can she do the holistic plant-based diet and learn to do that and control insulin and preserve muscle with good, wholesome protein, plant-based proteins? Could she do that here with her knowledge? Yes. But if you don't know, you don't know. And you go to the grocery store and you buy something that's got vegan on it and it's full of hydrogenated oil, is full of terrible, terrible plant-based fats, and it's full of tapioca starch, coupled with plant fats and seed oils, recipe for disaster. Wait a minute though. Let's say that I'm on food stamps. I'm on food stamps, going through a tough time. I can't afford organics, Travis. I can't afford wild caught fish. I'm lucky if I can afford a can of sardines and some turkey spam. Could you do Shibboleth still? We've got Shibboleth clean. We've got Shibboleth dirty. But either way, you're addressing the leading cause of all premature death in our country. Either way you go, if you do it processed style or you do it clean style, because we're controlling insulin. Shout to glory. Say, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for all of our brothers and sisters coming together. We're going to do it together. We're learning together. We're growing together. But we got to begin right so this thing will end right. Back to this. I'm off on a rant again. Look at these combinations. You new folks, red column. That's your blowtorch to butter column right there. That's locking it down and ripping off the knob. And the yellow column's just about as good. All you got to do, see this legend down here? I've got kids that can figure this out. I want to know where a potato goes. I look in my food library. It says it's a category 3. Then all I got to do is come up here and match up things with the 3 that control the fat bus. It's so simple, everyone. So we got to do our food combinations. Then we've got to portion control. We've got to control our number of eating episodes throughout the day with behavior modification. We've got to manage our intake through portion control. What's the portion rule? Two-hand rule. Put our two hands over that properly combined meal. It's not piled up any thicker than the thickest part of the hand. Can't see any around the edges. You're good to go. How many eating episodes can I have in a day and lose body fat fast, as long as they're combined properly? Up to 3. Breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, dinner for the Holy Spirit. Bible says that. Somebody really got upset with me and said I was mocking the Bible and blaspheming. I don't understand people. Bible said eat everything you do, whether you eat, whether you drink, do it to who? Unto God. Next, I'm having a moment of mental weakness. I've had my 3 eating episodes. Can I have a bonus snack? Yeah. That's equivalent, if you know anything about football, that's equivalent to punting. Sometimes you have to punt the ball. But it prevents you from having a holiday. Because if you have a holiday, if you punt, you can be back into efficient fat burning tomorrow. If you go on and have a snack accident, how many days does it take you to get back into EFB? 2 more days. The timing rule. For optimization, what is the best timing rule? Who can tell me that? For optimization. Uh-oh. Where's my April? April got the closest. For optimization, a 12 to 16 hour fast, including sleep. That might be one of the most powerful components of our program. 12 to 16 hour with no food, then you have an eating window where you get your 2 to 3 eating episodes in. But y'all are right too. If you can't do the fast, you should spread your meals out 4 to 6 hours. Why, Travis? There's 4 phases of digestion. The intake, and then you've got the intake, the beginning parts of digestion, and then the absorption, and then the elimination. This will blow your mind. It takes 6 hours just to get through the first 2 phases of digestion. So typically we're saying, I'm starving to death. And we haven't even got the last eating episode to the 3rd part of digestion. We haven't even got to the absorption part, and we're claiming that we're starving to death. Is it our gut that's starving to death, our body, our physical body, or our mind? Our mind. Stress, anxiety, habit, pleasure. Do you know how long it takes to fully digest a whole food protein? Paulette, about 36 hours. Yep. Think about that. Our final component of the perfect day is bless the name of the Lord. I think all of you, most of you would agree that as humans of the household of faith, it may be high time we return to God and show gratitude instead of mentally going, I'm starving to death, it ain't fair. Imagine that. I'm being mean tonight, aren't I? I'm being mean. I'm sorry. Imagine a different country. Let's take a 3rd world country where God's little children don't even get to eat once every 3 or 4 days. And then when they do get to eat, they're getting a cup of rice. And we're over here eating 3 times a day, trying to lose all the excess fat and talking about starving to death, and it ain't fair. Now, I got my stink eye on myself right now because I see myself. I can't see you. That ain't right, is it? We should be grateful for our 3 portion controlled meals each day. You know what I found in my life? Because I'm a sinner and I'm a flawed character. When I focus on what I don't have, I tend to start losing the things that I do have. You're here tonight and you still got your health. You're still living, you're still breathing. You got an opportunity to enjoy more pleasure and more abundant living just by doing this simple program. Let's go back to our website. Oops, let me get back to the, yeah, right here we go. Kenny, everybody, here's where we want to go. We want to go to our dashboard. We go to our dashboard and we go to the fast track system. This is where everyone should start. We've got 7 laps that show you how to find everything you need to sit down in my matrix chair and plug in to a practical, sustainable, and humorous program. If technical jargon impresses you, probably the wrong program. If real world parables and hyperbole and making you laugh, making you cry, if that sinks it into your heart, you found the right program. We go through this stuff. It doesn't take any time to go through the laps. Then down here, we have everything that we need, including the fast track videos with Kim Danke. You go through these in the order that they're listed. And then when we get done with those short videos, these aren't hour-long videos. These are really short videos. So here, Kim will be talking about.
Category 5 is your antioxidant carb, which is your fruit. All fruit is in this category. Category 6 is your superfoods, where you find your nuts and your
foods
seeds.
that are in
Category
those
7 is your shellfish, where you would find
things
shrimp.
Will start going,
so those are obviously just some very small examples of what go in those different categories to give you an idea.
3-minute
Some of these you can eat by themselves. Video. So category 1, lean protein, you could eat it by itself.
And there's not that
category
many
2,
videos.
Fibers carb, you could eat it by itself. Category 3, energy carb, you never want to eat it.
If we want our life to change, we will go through the material. And then we will apply the material if we've got a big enough why. When we go back to our dashboard, you will see your journal. Your journal is here. Your weekly timing chart. The weekly timing chart, if you are marking your days perfect and holiday on the honor system in the right way, allows you to quit focusing on the scales and focus on the program, and you'll see how much time each month you've spent in efficient fat burning mode. You got a small limited restaurant guide in Fast Track. You get all the variety once you go to Journey. We start you slow and then it expands from there. You've got a food library. This has your beginning, your abridged version, not all variety, but enough to get you started. Category 1 through category 7. Then it's just about learning how to combine these foods the correct way. You've got your recipe library. You'll also notice that when you start, and again, there's thousands of recipes in Journey. Look at this bell pepper nachos. I've listed something in search and it pulled up, say, bell pepper nachos, and I look and I go, I could do this. This will work. I've got most of these ingredients at home. I can go to Publix and get the rest. I shall give it a try. What does the -1 mean, everyone? What is the -1? That's our weight loss meter. What is better for fat loss, a -1 or a -2? That's right, -2, -3. What if it's marked 0? Means it won't hurt you, but might not help you. What if it's marked a +3? It's approved, but do it too often and you'll gain weight. Now I'm looking at all of these ingredients. This little button here, add to grocery list. I pull up my grocery list, or I could name a new one. I just pulled up my Kroger one. I mark my date and I add all those ingredients with one click to my grocery list so I can go straight into the grocery store, get bell pepper nachos. Where's my grocery list? It's in your resources. I pull the grocery list up, pull my Kroger one up, and all those ingredients got plugged in here so that all I got to do is go into the grocery store and get what I need and come back and make my bell pepper nachos. Everything you need to plug into to run your eating lifestyle is right here. Now, when you get into Fast Track and you finish and you take the test, pass test, and earn the badge, you can look in your journal at your progress, and you can also find the badges that you've earned. The more badges you earn, the more success that you will have. Isn't that awesome, everyone? It's comprehensive. It's versatile. It's completely versatile. Every food group is recognized. Every budget is recognized. Every philosophy is recognized and allows us to lose fat and keep it off forever. This is situational nutrition at its best. Now I'm going to answer some questions. Pamela, can you have Jordan's skinny syrup in your drinks and coffee? You may. Any calorie-free syrup, close to calorie-free, 5 calories, 10 calories, you can use in a beverage. Kenny, I was diagnosed with CHF and am on a 60-ounce liquid intake restriction. Heart failure. Will this cause me problems with losing weight? No. So you must manage your water intake. Anytime you're dealing with heart disease or heart failure, you have to be really responsible with your liquid intake. Now, if you didn't have that situation going on, would you be better to up your water? Yes, but you can't. But that's not going to affect your results, Brother Kenny. You need to stick with what your doctor tells you, and we focus on what we can do and not on what we cannot do. Laura, what can I do to help my metabolism recover? Years of dieting has done a ton of damage. I'm glad you asked. Red column and yellow column get the most blood flow to the digestive system. Think of it this way, everyone. Let me give you a way to look at this. Bye, Gina. Let me give you a way to look at this. Let's say that you were confined to a wheelchair for a year. Your calf muscles and your quadricep muscles would atrophy and become weakened. Am I correct? Why do they atrophy and become weakened, everyone? What is there a lack of? A lack of, it's very simple. Y'all are on to it, but think deeper. No. A lack of blood flow. The life and health of the flesh is in the blood. Exercise and movement cause what to happen to a muscle? For it to contract, it must have blood. Your digestive system is living lean tissue just like a muscle. So I heal. I'm in that wheelchair. And a year later, the only way to reconstitute that muscle is to get blood flow to my calf and my quadricep and hamstrings, correct? So I must move it to get the blood flow to it, and then the muscle will reconstitute. When I first get up out of that wheelchair, I'm going to be wobbly, aren't I? But if I keep using it, I'll be able to get rid of the walker. I'll be able to reconstitute the muscle. Your digestive system works the very same way. When you've consumed sugar and starch and processed foods over and over and over, you're not getting any blood flow to the digestive system. Therefore, you're killing your metabolism. But when I start eating chicken breast and broccoli, when I start eating some broiled fish and squash, when I start eating foods high in protein, can you visualize and imagine when I eat a chicken breast, the amount of breakdown that has to take place? It's like high thermic effect, a lot of blood flow. It's exercise on a plate. Broccoli's exercise on a stalk. Is that not exciting to y'all? So with consistency, I'm revving up my metabolism. I'm rebuilding it. That's how you do it. There's no secret. There's really not a secret. The secret is there's no secret. You get blood flow to the metabolism consistently, and you reconstitute it. Joanna, this is unrelated, but my ADHD brain needs to know, what is the image behind you? Because I see Smokey the Bear. It's a mushroom house, a Category 2 mushroom. Shibboleth and a Category 2 mushroom, a little mushroom house. I've always liked those Alice in Wonderland things. I'm a big old nerd. There's secrets that go on in the mushroom house. All right, next. Laura, so should I aim for more meals, 3 meals plus? No. No, 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 no. Frequency does not help. Big myth. Big, big myth. Let me give you another example. Stick with the program. You do not need to be eating multiple meals. That will not help. Too much of a good thing's a bad thing. So think of this. If I've got a fire and I don't put any wood on the fire, what happens to the fire? Dies out. What if I put too much wood on the fire all at one time? What happens? If I put it all on it at one time, a small fire, it goes out. They've told you wrong. All of this is already thought through. When in doubt, I simply follow the bulletproof shield. That's why it's called the shield. When in doubt, follow the shield. Don't overthink it, because too much of a good thing becomes a bad thing. 2 to 3 eating episodes a day is plenty. You only have 24 hours in a day. Our hunter-gatherer ancestors only ate once every couple of days. You're getting up to 3 eating episodes a day. Make sense, everyone? Well, Travis, I need more than that. I'm starving. No, you're not. You have a carbohydrate-dependent metabolism. And until it becomes fat adapted with consistency, insulin is going to upregulate your appetite, and you will feel like you're starving. But in order to lose body fat, you cannot eat for your current size. You have to eat for the size that you want to be. When I was 300 pounds, I couldn't eat like a 300-pound man to lose the weight. I had to eat like a 200-pound man while I was still yet a 300-pound man. All right, y'all. We're about out of time. It's been good to be with y'all tonight. Do I have any final questions before I go? Do I have your firm commitment that you will start working on Fast Track? And then come to class when you can. I'm live 10:30 a.m. I keep saying 10, bad habit. 10:30 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Friday to help. Every class is a little different. Questions are different. The answers are the same. Did everybody get enough to stay excited and to leave out of here ready to go at it tomorrow if God gives you a tomorrow? Thanks, Tina. Thanks, everybody. Go hard, Brother Kenny. Show them how to do it, my man. Be an inspiration. All right, y'all. God bless you. I love you, and good night.